Mercedes is aiming to dominate the second half of the 2022 season and start winning races. Let's see if they are capable of a comeback after this. Mercedes came into the 2022 season with high expectations, and to prove that their performance in the turbo hybrid era was no luck. Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton have been an unstoppable force in the turbo hybrid era, winning 8 Constructors' Championships in a row, and 6 Drivers' Championships for Lewis Hamilton. The 2022 season brought with it one of the most significant regulatory shift in F1 history. The new regulations were designed to bunch the pack up and allow drivers to follow closer for longer periods of time, increasing overtaking opportunities. Many, including Mercedes themselves, were expecting to dominate this new era, as they have done many years before. To reassure the F1 community and competitors of how ready and serious they were, Mercedes fired up their new W13 early to send a clear message that they were ready to fight back and continue to dominate in the new season. However, halfway into the new season and to everyone's surprise, Mercedes' performance was underwhelming, shocking to many, and even forgettable in many of the races. Many question what went wrong with Mercedes, including how could an 8-time Constructors' Champion get the new regulations so wrong. But the obvious issue that plagued the field and affected Mercedes a lot more than others was porpoising. Speaking to motorsport.com, Toto Wolff stated that Mercedes felt lost in the beginning stages of the 2022 season, because their top engineers didn't understand why the data are not correlating with reality. Toto Wolff went on to say that if the top engineers don't really understand why the data are not correlating with reality, that's not easy. And you're lost. Red Bull and Ferrari, who are not without their own reliability issues, were dominating at the front and battling for wins, while Mercedes was struggling in the midfield and testing to understand and find possible solutions to their problems. According to Toto Wolff, Red Bull and Ferrari's dominance is making F1 boring, because there's just too much performance gap between the teams. Mercedes has shown signs of returning to form throughout the season, but nothing that poses a threat to Red Bull and Ferrari. However, Mercedes is not a team to be disregarded when it comes to being a top contender. Their marginal improvements have shown that they are capable of solving their problems and fighting at the front of the field. With Lewis testing majority of the upgrades, and the team leaving George to fight for podiums, Mercedes has been able to capture 11 podiums, George winning 5 and Lewis winning 6 for a total of 304 points, placing them third in the Constructors' Championship. This reliable performance indicates that Mercedes is not out of contention yet. Mercedes has shown significant improvements over the last few races, and that they have been able to solve their porpoising issues, or for the most part, understand it well enough to keep it under control. Ending the first half of the season on a high, Mercedes still has significant updates to introduce across the remainder of the 2022 Formula One season, according to its strategy director, James Vowles. Sticking with its zero sidepod concept, Mercedes believe that it has improved its aerodynamics performance, which has helped push them to fight at the front and stay way ahead of the midfield. Now, their focus will be on bringing significant upgrades that will improve their pace and hopefully completely cut the gap to the top 2 teams. Speaking in their French Grand Prix debrief video, James stated, "In terms of the upgrades themselves, yes, they are incremental steps. They're small steps that we are adding to the car, but the important point is that we have plans to introduce far more upgrades across the races that follow. We're not going to be able in one go to just catch up and be with Ferrari and Red Bull. But hopefully, as you've seen across the season so far, we are incrementally closing that gap down, and we have more to come." Toto Wolff has stated that there is nothing Red Bull or Ferrari can do to keep Mercedes from fighting at the front, including objecting to the anti-porpoising measures. The new technical directive aimed at reducing porpoising will start getting enforced at the Belgian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton stated after the Hungary GP that he was very pleased with the improvements and overall performance of the car, and he believes that they are closer to winning a race or several races this season. Do you believe that Mercedes will win a race in the second half of the season? Or do you think there will be a three-way fight among Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes for the balance of the races? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more F1 contents.